Aloha everybody, welcome back to Vision Quest Astrology. David here. I'm actually on a roll. This is my third video in like a couple of days. I normally go like a month anymore without making these things, so this is progress. This is looking good, and it ties perfectly into what I want to talk to you guys about today. So right now we are in the midst of a full moon in Sagittarius, a very illuminating, big, expansive moon. This is really awesome. I'm particularly really fascinated and engaged with this one as this falls in my moon sign. I have a moon in Sagittarius. I find that Sagittarius has such a inspired light about it and such enthusiasm and love for truth and knowledge, and so I just have, astrology is just such a passion of mine, and so I've just been on fire for it the last week building up to this moon. It's been really wild. I think with anything in life we have periods where our fire dies out a little bit, but with fire and air energy too, a lot of the time things are a lot more like yeah, you feel more there's just an extra zest for life, it seems like. Whenever the moon is in Sagittarius, this is definitely very true. And since this one will be full, it's totally encapsulating what Sagittarius is all about. If you guys have been feeling like things have been a bit slow the last month or so and kind of stagnating a bit and getting a bit impatient, you're not alone. And I think that's what this moon is kind of bringing in right now, is that we've kind of been in a period with having so many planets retrograde at the same time, and all the earth energy it was in, it was kind of really taking a step back and reassessing just the current pattern and themes and the direction our lives are going in right now. Now, what's really interesting to me is that Mercury is going to be stationing direct not even a whole day after this full moon in Sag, I think less than 24 hours. So another really interesting, important tidbit to this moon is going to be the aspects. The moon in Sag will be conjunct Mars in Sagittarius, which is making its way back to the early degrees of Sag, as it's still retrograde. And to me, I think this is going to give us a really good dose of energy. Anywhere where things have been emotionally stagnant, where we need some courage, where we need that extra oomph, which I love about Mars, it being conjunct this moon in Sag, is going to just like exploit that times 10. Normally, this conjunction, whenever the moon comes around and conjuncts Mars, I think once or twice a month, it's always a nice time for that. But especially for that to happen on a full moon in fire like this is really going to give us that extra push to like really come out of this kind of hazy, not water. We haven't really been in a watery world these days, but this hazy kind of unclear, where to step next, make decision, indecisive phase we've all been in, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, and until recently Jupiter all being retrograde, and it's a lot, you guys. It really is a lot to have all that at the same time. So that aspect I think is so needed right now. It's going to be like putting the car back into drive, switching that gear up a little bit, and I can already feel it. I can feel that the energy building up. I already have a lot more stamina than I've had in a little bit. I'm hoping y'all do too. This one's interesting because the sun is literally just moved into Gemini a day or so before this full moon, as the full moon and sun will both be at 2 degrees. And so just having slipped in, and we've been in Taurus season for a month. Mercury and Venus have been in Taurus. So this move for the sun into Gemini is going to be like, yes, awakening. Let's get talkative. Let's socialize. Let's intermingle in our community, and just things get very chatty. Things can get very scattery and just like look at the houses that the opposition is going to be happening for you. Where is this full moon going to be opposing the sun in your chart? For me personally, I'll have the sun in Gemini in my 7th house. I'm going to have the moon in Sagittarius in my 1st house. So it's that duality and that polarity between myself and others, and that's always wow. So what's it going to be for y'all? Look to that, find out where this full moon and the sun is going to shine the most for you to get the most out of it. I have an opposition series on my channel that I go through all 12 of the signs and talk about their opposing axis. So I have a Gemini-Sagittarius opposition video. I'll link it down in the description box below, and you can check that out just to give you a better idea of what this full moon opposing Gemini will kind of be like. For a brief description, though, you know, Gemini, it is a lot about networking and our sociability and being kind of active in the community and talking. I just find you get a lot of talk with Gemini, a lot of information intake, you know, kind of gathering the mental and intellectual part of truth, you know, and kind of really intermingling with other people to kind of see what is the truth. You know, that's where gossip comes a lot with Gemini, because there's so much talking, and once you talk to like the third person and information is got strung along a line of people, the story kind of changes a little bit, but that's not always the case. But just a typical little thing that comes along with it. And then with Sagittarius, you know, you're looking for the higher truth. You're seeking your individual truth. You know, you're kind of going longer distances, even if only in the mind, you know, traveling to another state of mind to find out what your philosophy of life is, as opposed to what everyone else's philosophy is, which is usually found in Gemini in the third house. Some full moons have a little bit more intensity to them. I'm feeling into this moon that this one's going to be a little bit more easygoing. You know, of course, things always get heightened on a full moon. Any emotions that are going on, anything that's kind of maybe been ticking in your heart a little bit, but this moon really is speaking to me of a time to kind of come back out again and play and really feel our inspiration for life. So if you've been feeling pulled back from that part of yourself, let yourself really enliven with this moon and shine this beautiful, beautiful light on those areas of your life that you've been wanting to. Please give yourself that gift and that opportunity. So thank you everybody for watching as always. Please check out my website at visionquesthealing.com if you would like to book a reading with me. I'd love to work with all of you. And yes, please enjoy this awesome full moon in Sagittarius. Happy transiting and much aloha.